Hi, I'm Stan from Over the Hill Adventures, and today we are going to convert our 2022 Chevrolet 2500HD turbo diesel from a bumper pull to a gooseneck hitch. Now, some of you may know our truck did not come with a puck system. So we reached out to BMW Hitches, and they are partnering with us in full disclosure and sent us the Gooseneck Turnoverball Hitch. And man, I tell you, I did some research, okay? I looked at all the hitches and all the goosenecks because I had to do this conversion, and I have found that the BMW is probably going to be the best for us because it bolts right into the frame that GM has already provided. So let's get started. BMW Trailer Hitches gives you a set of instructions and measurements, torque specifications, and all that. So make sure that you go over these instructions detail by detail. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to measure, and because this is a short bed, we're going to have to measure 37 1/8. But I'm going to add about 1/16 of an inch because of the bed liner spray that's in here. In the interest of time, I've already taken out the spare tire. I've taken out the heat shields. There are 2 heat shields, one for this tire, and there was another one that laid upon the bed. Only 4 bolts. You should be able to figure that out pretty easy on your own. From the edge of the bed, we're going to go 37 1/8, and I am going to add a 1/16 of an inch for the bed liner that puts it right there. So now you want to make sure that you center that from your bed liner. So I have 25 1/8. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to drill a pilot hole. This is the scariest part of the whole thing. The fact that you're sawing a 4-inch hole into the bed of your truck. So you better make sure that your measurements are right. I think it's important that you use a pilot drill to start and then graduate up. Checking your measurements, making sure you're still right on, because this is a very crucial measurement. I'm going to step up to the next hole. Make sure that I'm still centered, that I didn't wander. I'm going to step up. Get this big hole. This thing is sharper than a knife. Okay, now we're in there, and before I'm going to do, it look pretty good. I'm liking the way it looks. What we're going to do is we're going to put our drill in there, and we're going to run it backwards. Okay. So that we make sure that's in there. It's going through. That's a big hole. There you go, man. I'll tell you what, man. I've got to be honest. I have anxiety. It looks really good, looks clean. I'm gonna take a file, deburr that, and then I'm probably going to spray that a little bit. All right, so now that you finished deburring it and it feels pretty good to you, make sure you put probably some paint or some lacquer so that doesn't corrode later on. If your truck is equipped with these basically these fender liners, you're going to need to take these 3 screws. We're going to use this little star tool, and you just take them off. There's only 3 of them. screw. Just take it, bend it. You don't really actually bend it. It's basically what it does. It gives you access to this area. Now, notice that GM puts their bed support right over the axle. So on a short bed, the hole is going to go away from the cab on this side, and on a long bed, it goes on this side. I could basically sit underneath my truck for this application. I don't have a car lift or anything. Just a garage. So I was gonna try to do this installation without taking these the tailpipe hangers, but I think I want to drop the tail back just a little bit to get it out of our way. So we're gonna put some soapy water on it, and we're gonna get these off. And you can use whatever pry tool you want. There we go. Next we're going to build the cross member pieces. Now if this is the front of the cab, you'll see the orientation, okay? Make sure when you're putting it together, make sure the weld is on the bottom, and the weld on the bottom goes here like this, okay? And then you want to make sure your holes are in the middle like that. Now notice the way I'm putting the bolts. I'm putting the bolts in. This is the cab of the truck. The front cross member, the bolts go in this way. Just like that. Put the bolts on. Up on it, keep it in place. Because this particular cross member goes over the, I think it's either gas tank or the def cam. We're going to torque that down, but I'm also going to torque down the back section also. The more I can torque down, the better. We're going to torque these babies down at 150. Perfect. Same thing with the orientation, the weld on the bottom. Man, I'm already out of breath. I must admit, I don't have those fancy clicker. See the gas tank? So, you gotta watch these lines. Gotta watch this line right here, but I already checked it out. It looks good. And so for a peace of mind, I already checked the bracket to make sure the bracket was okay. So what we're going to do first is we're going to lift this up over this way like this. Mind you, these things are not light. All right, so don't be discouraged. You get over your brake lines like this. There we go, up and over. And that damn wire's in the way now. Woo! Okay, guys. All right, we're in. So I had to go over this little thing here. That wasn't easy to go over. It was up there a little tight, but it does work. So now I'm going to put the other bracket on. I'm gonna lift up. These guys got some. These guys got some muscles.
I see what the problem is, because what it's doing is on this, it's resting on that high level.
Right, no, I got that.
Right, so if you could get that, there you go. Pushed back, tilt it.
Holy moly. All right. Sometimes you got to get a woman's view sometimes. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, we got it. We're just gonna finger tight this because we have to get those little cross bolts in, and we'll come back and tighten those up in the sequence that we're supposed to where they're supposed to be, because remember, this bolts right into the frame. So, and that's another thing why I like it so much. I like it. That's not going anywhere. So, all right, so that cross member is in. We're going to move this back a little bit, like that's about as much as we can, like that. Let's put the other cross member in. Oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't go to the gym. There you go. And I'm going to get those bolts in, and we're just going to hand tight. Remember that I already torqued down the other side because I didn't want to worry about doing too many torques. So there it is. That's in. So I'm going to put that bolt in there like that. That bolt in there like that. It's a beautiful thing. And notice the orientation of the bolts. The nuts are facing towards the cab now. If you ask me why, don't ask me why, but that's what they say you need to do. You can be assured that everything I'm doing here was per their instructions, okay? We're gonna put the latch pin together, and then we're gonna bring that thing up. And now they suggest that you have to buy their contraption that holds that turnover hitch ball in place. Well, that's $40 to be honest with you. And so I thought, well, I'm going to show you a way we could save a little bit of money. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the latch pin. Because we have a short bed, the latch pin has got to go on the other side, on the, because you would want to have it on the driver's side. It really doesn't matter which side you want it on, but usually it goes on the driver's side. Because mind you, this is going to be the cab. Because you have a short bed. It sits on the back side per GM specifications. So this is the latch pin. Pull it out. We're going to put it on this side. All right. You want to put it in as deep as you can. Got screws for you. Now, mind you, there's 2 long ones and 1 short one. Make sure you use the long ones. This basically activates the latch pin. The ball goes in here, and then put the pin through it, and that holds it in there. Remember I told you we're gonna get this thing up there? Well, it's heavy just to hold it up there. So I'm gonna show you a cheaper way of doing it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to I just put this on the latch pin. It's rubber coated, so it's not going to hurt it. And then I'm going to get a 2x4, and we're going to lift it up there by the ratchet. Y'all see the vision here? I'm going to put it up there, and it's a heavy, so it's up to you to get that hook in that pin, and then start cranking it up when I tell you to, because I'm going to put it in that hole. This is why I work out. All right, for stuff like this. All right, you ready, wifey?
So we're going to hook it on that.
Yep, you're going to hook it on that. Should have done some shoulder exercises.
Got it.
Can you hold it right there, just like that? Can you hold it just like that? Oh,
okay, got it.
I gotta put the support brackets in. Put on the washer plate. Do the same on the other side. It's kind of nice because it looks like it. And then we're going to put these nuts on. In the instructions, there's a sequence of events of how you're supposed to tighten these down. So make sure you look at your instructions on how you're supposed to exactly tighten them down. I think you're supposed to tighten these first, then these, because we've already done those, and then these. But right now, what we got to do is we got to go in and put these other bolts in. These bolts in the frame. And you know, guys, that is why I went with this hitch, because it bolts right into the hole. You're gonna probably have to move the hitch around a little bit to get these bolts in, but I've already started them. Make sure you start them by hand. Okay, so you have 8 bolts, 2 here, 2 here, and then on the other side you do the same thing. Right now I'm just tightening down the frame bolts. So you guys gotta stick with us, because we're gonna be putting some air shocks in on this truck, some Airlift 7500 XLTs, I think is what they're called. Haven't got them yet, but just for some added cushion. We're continuing the tightening process. I've tightened these down, tightened these up. I'm gonna tighten these. We've already done the other side, so we're going to tighten these babies up, and then we're going to torque them. I torqued those other ones down. So much easier. That way I only have a few more bolts to.
Woo. Oh, yay! Got it all.
All right, so this is going to be the engager of your pin, your 5th ball pin. So we're going to put it in here like this. You put it in here like that, okay? And then we're going to put the bolt on there. It's got, you'll see which way it has to go. All right, just like that. All right, we're going to come over here and tighten this baby down. And hold it up so it's in an up position. That's it. That's it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See it? Now you'll be able to see, and that's so it opens and closes it. Okay, here's the plan. 11/16 drill. I'm going to throw some divots where the chain holders are going to be, and then I'm going to run pilot holes through the top, from the bottom through the top, and then I'm going to come down from the top and drill those big holes. All right, see that little divot that I just made there? I'm going to do another one over here. I'll do the same thing over here. And do the same thing over here. I'm going to put my pilot hole drill in. I'm going to drill each one of these little holes. That's one. That's two. And one more. Okay. All right, so we're going to go up top because it's just going to look nicer and it's going to look better from the top. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to graduate the drills into the big drill, and that'll be it. And we'll come back down here, and then we're going to install the safety chain loops. Okay. All right, let's step up the drill. be careful with that, man. This is just to clean it up a little bit. Looks pretty. I'm going to vacuum that up a little bit, and then we'll go underneath again. Last but not least, you put the big side of the spring, you put it on there like that. Okay, like that. And then you're gonna pull it up flush. More. You know, I asked myself, how are those bolts going to stay up there? For some reason, they're binding up in there, so I have no idea. Just flush, just like that. See, and then we just put it back down. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to put the firewall, the tire firewall back on. Spare tire down underneath here. We're going to go up there, and we're going to put the ball in and show you what the finished product looks like. Now we're going to torque down the bolts that are connected to the frame. Now you have two choices. You either lift up the whole entire truck bed to get a torque wrench in it, or you just torque it down. I'm just going to torque it down. All right, so what I got is a 18-inch ratchet wrench, and I'll tell you what, it's the best thing to use. I'm putting back the wheel well cover. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but the difference is we're going to have to cut a piece out. Nobody says it's got to be perfect or pretty. It's just got to work. Perfect. You know, I'm really impressed, I'll tell you, with this hitch, boy. It just, everything went in the way it was supposed to. Everything. Just follow the instructions or watch this video step by step. Now I'm gonna replace the tire firewall. I just gotta remember where it went. All right, we're done. This hitch is capable of towing 30,000 pounds. More than this truck can tow. The hitch weight it can handle is 7,500 pounds. It's a 2 5/16 ball. As you can tell, it's well machined. So the last recommendations they have you do is take your BMW grease right here. What you're supposed to do is take it like this, and you spread it on this part, and this is what it's going to look like. It took us about 4 hours. And the neat thing about this thing is flip it over like this. And now you can use, that's the BMW Turnoverball hitch. You guys like this stuff? You know how I am. I love doing it, but I gotta be honest, man, this was a heavy project. And if you like what you see and you want to see more of this, please subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up on this video, and for sure share it. And leave a comment. Again, it's Stan from Over the Hill Adventures. Until the next time.
What do you buy your feet? I don't really think I have enough leverage to pull.
Hold on to my pin. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take the dead man out. Come on.
Hold on. I gotta get something under my knee.
Take the dead man out of it. Out from underneath the car. Oh.
Pull your shirt down.
Oh.
I'm almost there.
Okay, right there.
Pull that down. I know I want to see that. Oh my gosh, that's funny.